Hi there. Welcome to this week's video. So this week I'm going to talk about the top 5 AI tools that I think every student should use, whether you're in grade 7, O level, A level, or even in university. Okay, so for the first tool, we're going to be using ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a chatbot. I talked about it in the previous video. So the main things you'll be able to do with ChatGPT is summaries and writing. So most of the time, I think we're told that AI is wrong and it's cheating, of which, yes, plagiarism and blatantly copying stuff from AI is wrong. But using AI to create drafts and mockups and inspire yourself will further improve your writing. So if you would ask ChatGPT to make, let's say, 4 or 5 different versions of an introduction, you take those introductions, you add in your own spin and your own taste, you take different things from different texts that you've read, you put them in there, and you really make that introduction yours. Now you've written that introduction, and then you can continue this for the entirety of the essay. Because for some of us, it's not that we lack writing skills, it's just that sometimes we lack the imagination kind of required to do the writing. So if you use ChatGPT to sort of spark your imagination, then you'll see you can easily write stuff. And then for some of us who find it difficult to read things that are super, super long, we can use it to summarize texts because you can upload PDFs and documents to it. So once you summarize the text and you read it in its short, brief form, you can understand the basic gist of the thing. And if it's something you're much more interested in and you want to go further, then you can start studying it from there. If not, you can keep that brief summary and then compare it to your syllabi and whatnot and check if it ticks all the requirements. If not, you can add those requirements into the summary prompt and it can summarize it to give you the relevant information. Okay, tool number 2 is Perplexity. So Perplexity is an AI search engine which basically allows you to search for things and it gives you sources that have links as well as a response according to your prompt. So what can you use it for? So you can use Perplexity for research because it allows you to cite sources that have information that corroborates whatever you're trying to corroborate with your paper or your essay. You can also use it to fact check information given to you by other AI tools like ChatGPT. So you've summarized your document. Now you want to make sure that all of the facts it's telling you or teaching you from that document are correct. You can run them through Perplexity to find actual sources all across the internet that support it or that disprove it. And then from there, you can move forward and continue with your research or with your study. And then for number 3, we have SciSpace. So SciSpace is similar to Perplexity. However, it doesn't search the entire internet, just the academic space, so just research papers. So all your information will be specifically from peer-reviewed research papers, which means it's very specific, very academic, very reliable. So if you just want academic sources, you don't want journalism, you don't want any other aspect of the internet, then your best bet is SciSpace. SciSpace does have paid plans, but the free plan is enough. If you run out of credits, then you can just continue on another day. SciSpace is really good for research for like school science projects and whatnot because you can actually refer to actual science research that was made by other people. And then for Perplexity, I'd say it's better if you want something that's a great mix between like the humanities plus science because it gives you sources from both. You'll get sources from news outlets and sources from research papers. And then for tool number 4, we have CramJam. So CramJam is basically an AI tool that allows you to take PDFs and convert them into notes if it's a textbook or quizzes, which you can make from your textbook or your notes. It'll be very difficult to make it from a textbook because, like, then what would the quiz really be about? So, notes. So if you take specific notes for a specific topic or you take screenshots of a specific section of your textbook, you can upload those screenshots or those notes to CramJam, which will make questions based on a difficulty setting you choose, uh, easy, medium, or hard, and how long you want it to be. So short, medium length, or long. And then that quiz will have questions based on the information you've given it from the notes. So, what I've seen that works best for me is I put in notes, but I also add in the syllabus requirements between each page of the notes. So I know that what I want is questions about, let's say, for example, abstract data types for computer science. So I'll put in the syllabus requirement page that has ADTs, and then I'll put in the notes for ADTs that I have from Znotes and from Save My Exams, and then I'll plug them in all there. And once I do that, CramJam will generate a nice little quiz for me. I complete that, and I'm done. I've studied, and I'm ready for the exam. So it's great for test prep, it's great to test your knowledge, and it's just great for overall retention of stuff. So if you're just writing notes, sometimes you might not get it, but if you do a little quiz, even if it's not in the same format as you'd want your exam to be in, it still allows you to recall that information, especially since you've given it what you wanted to ask using the syllabus. So the question might not be exactly the same as it would be in a past paper, but it might be a bit easier than what you'd find there, and it allows you to directly recall the information. And then when you try a past paper, it might be easier for you to recall the information as you do the paper. Okay, so for our fifth and final tool, the pièce de résistance, we have 11 Reader. So 11 Reader is an app that uses AI. You upload your PDF and then it makes it into an audiobook, which I find very helpful. I just take my PDF notes or my PDF textbook and I get a specific section and I begin to read it in the audiobook. So while I'm doing stuff around the house, or while I'm traveling to and from school, or while I'm even at school, I'll just plug in my AirPods and start listening to the textbook. And over time, this allows you to really internalize everything, because you can listen to the textbook while doing anything, you can listen to the notes while doing anything. If you have specific stuff you want to study, you can use the tools I've mentioned before to get specific notes you want, and then you can use 11 Reader to make sure all those notes are read out to you. So you can do other stuff, which I find very great because I get easily distracted when reading actual books. So audiobooks really help me out. If you're wondering how will we use these tools, the links are down in the description below. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment if you want to, and we'll see you in the next video.